Ray Minkowski sitting in FitWorks hybrid training gym with Tom Kallas.
Hi.
World record squat holder.
Yep.
And Tom and I are sitting here today. We're going to talk a little bit about Tom making weight for one of his last powerlifting meets using Eat by Color. So, Tom, what weight were you trying to make?
I was trying to get down into the 181-pound class.
So why 181s? What was sacred about 181?
181 is the weight class I want to go to. I broke the record at 165 twice for squat, so the next one I want to do was 181, and I was shooting for 766 at 181. So that's why I wanted to drop to a lower weight class than I normally walk around at, so I can take the record.
So 766 squat at 81 pound body weight, and we kind of worked a little bit using our Eat by Color Elite, our Eat by Color for Athletes program to help you lower weight while maintaining strength going into the actual meet.
Yeah. So usually when I go into a meet, I would just forget everything he would say, and I would just do my own thing, and I would do like a hard cut 24 hours out and just try to lose like 15 to 20 pounds, mainly just water weight. And I always ended up the next day, I felt terrible, was definitely not at my strongest because trying to put all the weight back on after 24-hour weigh-in, you just can't get your strength back. You don't get your weight back. So it sucked. So this time I went to a smarter route, contacted Ray like 4 months ago, or 4 months out of the meet, and decided, you know what, let's diet into the meet, opposing to dieting a day out from weigh-ins. So we took a real slow approach, like week by week, dropping maybe a pound, half a pound at the most. I was probably sitting around 195, maybe 200. Like I said, we probably had 16 weeks to do it. And then just slowly cut down to a point where I think the day before the meet I was walking around at 183, 184, and I had 3-4 meals in me. And opposed to the day before meet, I would eat maybe a chicken breast and 1 egg, and I wouldn't have water for 36 hours and then try to make weight. This is a lot healthier, and I felt a lot better. And I was able to actually enjoy my time, because I was in California at the time. I was able to enjoy my time at the meet in the area, rather than suffer for 36 hours and then try to make weight.
So taking a little bit slower approach allowed him to be walking around within a couple pounds of your actual lifting weight, instead of kind of that last minute purge that a lot of athletes and competitors will do when they have to make weight. And the result is, I mean, you want to feel good lifting at that weight. It's bad enough that you're going to make a struggle to get down to a weight to chase a record, which is probably a discussion of another time, which is why do powerlifters focus on their scale weight instead of how much weight they're putting on the bar? But that's another whole discussion. But nonetheless, you don't want to feel like a bag of garbage come meet time. You actually want to have 1 to a couple pounds to go the day before the event and know that you're comfortably going to be able to make weight that next morning. And then, like I had seen you, much to your surprise, at a bar. I actually had a community meeting, and rented out a banquet facility, one of our local bar and grills, and lo and behold, who was sitting there and you were drinking what?
Tito's and tonic.
So you're still able to enjoy
my newest sponsor.
Tito's and tonic and kind of balance life with getting ready for an event and being able to walk around within a few pounds of the weight you want to lift at.
Yeah, it was nice because then I could actually, not that I'm an alcoholic, but I'd go out and have a couple drinks with my friends on 1 or 2 nights a week, and then every Saturday, me and the girlfriend would go get sushi or pizza or burgers. I ate whatever I wanted Saturday night, but right back on the horse Sunday. It was just nice. It was flexible, and it would work if you were just consistent. If you just consistently ate the same meals. The way I diet is I have Ray tell me exactly what to eat. This offers you a lot of like protein choices as far as, you know, you can hear 6 different choices, pick one. I'm more the person Ray says eat chicken and a half cup of rice at 3 o'clock and do it that way. That way I'm more meticulous in what I eat and exactly when I eat it. And as long as you followed it to a T, like I said, you can vary your protein and carbohydrate and fat sources. Me personally, I stick to the same exact meals every single day at pretty much the same time, and I could just watch the scale go down and down.
And that's kind of something that we actually see, and it's interesting, but it's almost along gender lines. Males tend to do better with, hey, tell me what to eat. I'm fine doing the same thing day in and day out with little to no variety. In fact, if you give me variety, I end up going off the reservation and going overboard. Whereas women oftentimes need a little bit more variety. But again, it's kind of that consistent plan ahead and then look for that gradual but steady weight loss all the way into the time that you need to make weight instead of that big purge within a day or two of actually making weight.
Taking like that 3 to 4 months, like I said, and losing a pound a week or whatever it was, 16 pounds total, just made it a lot easier and a lot simpler. And I could still enjoy the shit that I want to do, which is drink and have a burger every Saturday. So.
Actually live and not let everything revolve around one day making weight. Yeah. And then the other thing, we'll plug them because they supported our events, and it's actually something that works. We get a question a lot. What about things like coffee? Caffeine and Kilos is one of Tom's sponsors. They make a decent, I'm not sure why we have to do that, but whatever. Again, somebody else has cornered that market, but Caffeine and Kilos makes a great coffee product. No calories in coffee. It's a good pre-workout. It's going to give you a little bump in energy, especially if you're using a Caffeine and Kilos product. So if you're out there trying to make weight, stuff like coffee is good. And then I'll throw this in the day before an event. We can probably argue that caffeine is going to have a slightly diuretic effect. So there may be an additional benefit having that coffee the day before or the morning of or what have you when you have to make weight. I think that's probably about it. Tom, thanks for coming in and doing the video.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This video, like all of our videos, is brought to you by Eat by Color. It's not just about weight loss for the everyday person. We can manipulate, tailor Eat by Color for that competitive athlete, whether it's something like powerlifting that Tom competes in or any other athletic endeavor.